You are listening to a Dynamic Works Productions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, and gamer, Tim K.A. Trotter. Joining me in the sidecar seat, if this were a motorcycle, is the one, the only, short round, Brock Loomis.
How's it going?
It's not too bad. So we're going to do a little bit of a different show, and probably the next couple of shows are probably going to be different as well. We're going to eschew the usual roll of the dice or ring, as it may be, because it is we are 1 week away from E3, and we've also got Apple press conferences coming around the corner, and a lot of pre-E3 news this year that has been it's been coming out in storms. People have been having their own videos, like people have announced things, and it's just like there's lots of craziness going on in news in the games and tech industry right now.
Yeah, it's been really odd. Like the last, month and a half, people are just dropping stuff like Modern Warfare trailer, just like an actual game, in-game trailer to show off the graphics of this new reboot for Modern Warfare. And then, what is it? Nintendo's having...
let's just talk about it. As we...
just crazy.
You know, we've heard lots of stuff. We've been listening to podcasts because, of course, we work together, so we hear similar things. And so Activision Blizzard has announced a new Call of Duty reboot of the Modern Warfare franchise, starting with Modern Warfare 1, with the same characters that the fans know and love of Call of Duty. Except it's going to be darker, grittier, and, kind of a reset on the modern era, because Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came out in 2006? Like almost a decade ago.
6 or 7? Yeah. 06 or 07.
And as Ron Perlman said in Fallout 3, war has changed. Or no, war never changes. But it did. A lot of drones and shit and technologies and all sorts of stuff. I heard on a podcast this week, somebody was shown like the first level of the new Call of Duty Behind Doors, and I guess
that's cool.
Like it takes place in like some like Middle Eastern place, and you're like, I guess the campaign it's like a dual campaign between American forces and then like that country's that's like in the war zones, like freedom fighters, I guess would be a good way to say it. And I guess like the first level was like typical Call of Duty, and then it switches, and there's like these like Russians invading this town, and you're like playing as this father protecting his kids, and then he gets killed.
Sounds fucking awesome.
And then the camera switches to like this 10-year-old like brother and sister, and they have to like fight these Russian insurgents like hand-to-hand combat. and then like I guess it ends with them like killing the dudes brutally, and then like picking up a gun and like going out and fighting.
Jesus.
Like super
That's
dark.
well, I mean, Call of Duty was always known for pushing boundaries, like the end of the first one with the nuke being dropped, and basically kills the character you've been playing through. And then there's, what is it, Call of Duty 2, where you walk through a freaking airport just massacring people.
Yeah, because you're on the bad guy's side, which is always super weird to me. I mean, like I played it, you know, we all did back in the day, but it was just like, it was really weird that it shifted so randomly just for shock value. Like, I get where they were going for like that level, but it was weird that it shifted, because they didn't shift anywhere else in the game, I don't recall.
No, not too much, not like that, but I thought it was a nice twist on things when they did that kind of stuff throughout that game. It definitely brought us like a different style, or like kind of edgier seat anticipation. Like, oh, what's gonna happen now?
Yeah,
am I gonna go fucking kick puppies now? Like,
John Wick's coming.
Yeah.
So some other details we know about this new Call of Duty. We know all DLC and updates will be free, and it will be cross-platform play. So,
which is amazing.
Xbox One, PS4, PC, all day one, which is pretty ambitious. And then I also learned something else, and it was funny because we talked about this during our work week, that like Call of Duty's been using the same game engine since Call of Duty 2 back in 2005?
2010?
2005,
oh,
I think.
yeah.
The World War II Call of Duty 2.
Yeah.
That one. So this new Call of Duty Modern Warfare is being made by Infinity Ward, so the A-Team, but it's also running on a brand new engine for the first time ever.
And it looks amazing.
And some people were talking about the technical aspects of the engine, besides obviously online infrastructure and first-person shooting gameplay and 60 frames a second, and, you know, standard stuff of Call of Duty. But something that caught my eye from a technical level was they were talking about how, like, in previous all video games, like whenever somebody puts on like a night vision goggle or an infrared goggle, like it's basically just a filter on the screen.
Yeah.
But they're saying in this game, they've switched like rendering things. So like when you put on a night vision goggle, they have like a whole extra graphics engine that is like processing the light the way the actual night vision goggle would work in real life.
Oh, that's cool. That's super cool.
As opposed to being a filter, like you're seeing it, so like light sources react realistically to, you know, the light and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah,
it's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah,
kind of brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. So, you know, new Call of Duties were announced. Let's see, what else was announced before we get into the list here? What else was pre-announced? There's Pokemon stuff.
Pokemon. I mean, I guess you could count Borderlands 3 being confirmed.
We talked about that before, though. It was announced at PAX, and you know, there's going to be more details about it.
So, yeah, I'm trying to think of what.
Well, a big one for me that makes me happy. They announced a remaster of the 2008 Ghostbusters video game, which used the actual Ghostbusters 3 script that Dan Aykroyd wrote, and got the entire original cast back together. Super funny, super great game, but probably kind of hard to play because I don't think it's backwards compatible on anything. And, you know, it's pretty old. So that's actually got a release date. Ghostbusters Remastered. So the release date for that. Oh, the big thing about that one is it's being remade by Saber Interactive, who you may or may not know, but they've been responsible for porting a lot of the Halo games, particularly in the Master Chief Collection, and they did the anniversary remasters of Halo 1 and 2. So they're a very technical, capable studio. God damn it, the article I clicked on doesn't have a release date. Here we go. It's coming. So Ghostbusters Remastered, the video game, is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, which is awesome. I'm totally getting the Switch version then. Is coming later this year. Did they not have a release date? Oh, that's stupid. Hang on. I'm just gonna watch this fucking trailer and see if they got a release date at the end of the trailer. I would hope so.
Probably not.
Nope, it just says coming late 2019. Okay, fine. Super lame. Anyway, it's coming, and it's an awesome game. I encourage anybody who's a Ghostbusters fan to pick it up because it's not only a great game, but it's hella funny throughout because it's written by Dan Aykroyd. And it stars the original cast, including Harold Ramis. How about that?
Who is now unfortunately deceased.
He's not dead? I thought he was retired.
No. I'm thinking of the other guy. I'm thinking of Egon.
Oh, yeah. You're thinking of... fuck.
God,
what's
guy. His name?
Fucking, this is terrible.
The guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it. I can't remember his name.
I'm looking it up. Terrible. No, it is Harold Ramis.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that was the one that passed away, not the other guy.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. We fucked that one up. Good job, team.
You fucked that one up.
Did I, though?
You totally fucked it up.
Yeah, I did. We've got a release date for Nintendo Switch game that's a Legend of Zelda mashup. God, Hyrule. Fucking, I am so unprepared today. This is what happened.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay. Sorry, guys. So I'm playing the Switch version of Skyrim right now.
Mm-hmm.
I totally fucking no-clipped through the floor and fell.
Oh, infinitely to your death?
Yeah, and then it just respawned me. Like, it didn't even, load. Shit. It just, dropped me.
You in a dungeon?
Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah. You were supposed to be the chosen one, Switch version, and you ruined. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry for the break in our continuity, but yeah.
I was saying before your Switch game broke, Cadence of Hyrule comes to Switch on June. God damn it! Why do none of these things have release dates? I swear to fucking Christ, I've seen a release date. It's like June 7th or something like that. It comes out.
You're lying.
It comes out soon. So if you're looking forward to the dungeon crawling rhythm action game that's made by the Crypt of the Necrodancer team, that's an officially licensed Zelda product, Cadence of Hyrule, it's coming out soon. It's in June. Y'all got Google.
So it's a dungeon crawler.
So I've watched some video reviews of the non-Zelda version of this game, and so basically what it is it's a think like moving squares like Fire Emblem. So you've got like a grid-based movement, but you're moving to the actual beats of whatever music is playing. So in this case, it's like Zelda tunes. So like, I guess an example would be like, you know, if you've got like the Zelda theme, like, you know, like da 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 da, you get like 7 moves per round or something like that. And so you have to so each stage is like you're crawling through a dungeon to defeat bad guys and get to the end of the stage, but you have like changed up move sets to the different beat, and like I guess there's like the tempo. So it's like, it's like movement-based combat strategy.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Like interesting enough for me to try and pick up.
Yeah, it certainly looks interesting, and I think I'll probably give it a shot. I mean, and also you got to think it's probably going to be pretty good if Nintendo's letting them, an indie studio, use the Zelda brand. That's never happened before. So it's probably going to be pretty good because Nintendo doesn't, they don't license Zelda out to just some common peasants.
No, not at all.
So that's coming out soon. Pokemon Company announced both Pokemon Home and Sleep, which are new games / apps coming at the end of the year. First of all, Pokemon Sleep is the weirdest one. So I guess there's going to be some kind of... So basically they just announced that there's going to be a thing, and there's going to be a new Pokemon device called Pokemon Plus Plus, which is just the dumbest, most Japanese name ever. And I mean, it's like Pokemon Plus, like the word Plus, and then the plus sign, because reasons. And I guess it'll be it'll be like a flat Pokeball that you'll put underneath your pillow to track your sleep. But something about tracking your sleep will help you with like Pokemon Go and stuff. I have no idea how it's going to work because they were super not specific on anything.
Yeah, we listened to a podcast earlier this week, and it didn't sound intriguing to me at all. Like sleep tracker apps, like all that stuff. Like I know I sleep terribly. I don't need a tracker to tell me that. Plus, I don't want my horrible sleep habits to ruin my Pokemon Go status.
So I'll chime in on this one. So I actually use a sleep app because I hadn't been getting good sleep for the last 2 years, and it's actually helped me to track. So like I have a sleep app. I use an app on my phone called Pillow, and it does a couple of things. One, it hooks up to my watch, so it's monitoring my heart rate. It's checking that. And then using the microphone, it's detecting like loudnesses in sleep. And so it gives me this stat every time I wake up of like when I enter my REM cycle and like different stuff. And then it gives me suggestions on how to improve my sleep pattern, which I'll be honest has been helpful. So if I can also like earn experience points or something for sleeping, I'm down with that.
What if it detracts from experience? What if it takes away experience?
Well, then fuck Pokemon Sleep. Fuck that shit.
I mean, that would be kind of funny to do that. I doubt they will, though, because they're going to want people to actually buy this if and when they release it. Now, I haven't heard anything about Pokemon Home. What is that?
So Pokemon Home is an app for your mobile phone that is apparently replacing an old app called the Pokemon Bank, which was app that you used, I guess, for like the 3DS Sun and Moon to like transfer Pokemon or something. But I guess it was kind of janky and people would like lose their Pokemon. So this one is specifically for the upcoming Sword and Shield and Pokemon Go, and will let you cross-trade between games. So, for example,
which is awesome.
Right now, if you have Pokemon Let's Go, you can only trade from Let's Go to Pokemon Go and not backwards. So Sword and Shield with this Pokemon Home app apparently will let you do that. And then the other thing, because it's all like synced up in the cloud, you'll be able to trade Pokemon with other trainers and stuff just using your cell phone when you're out in the wild.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's really cool. I guess the question though is because Pokemon Bank, I guess, charged you money to use the service and it didn't work well.
Yeah.
Is if Pokemon Home is going to charge you like $1 or something, or like storage rental or something. We don't know.
No, it's the details have been fairly vague on that stuff. But you know, I wouldn't have a huge issue being charged like $1. I already pay $1 for my iCloud storage and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't see it being a huge issue for as an adult. Now, if my kid was like, "Hey, I need $1 a month for for my Pokemans," I'd be like, "Hell nah." But yeah, that's it'll be interesting to see what they do with that, and to see their the Nintendo Direct, what they're gonna do with Pokemon in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, because as everybody knows, Nintendo will have a presence at E3, but all they'll be doing is Nintendo Direct. But they're also doing like a specific Pokemon Direct too.
Yeah, this week. Is it this week?
Yeah, it's like the 5th, like before
Sweet.
E3.
Nice.
So I assume we'll get like tons of Sword and Shield information.
Yeah.
And probably some other stuff. So some other stuff that was announced, like with release date trailers, was Hideo Kojima's long-anticipated Death Stranding video game has an official release date of November 8th, 2019. And there's gameplay and story trailer and stuff up now.
And it's been up for like almost a week now.
Yeah. It's crazy because it just came out of nowhere, which is crazy.
Yeah, not only like the trailer, but the actual like him telling us a release date and not like, coming soon, and then another 5 years passes.
Yeah. So the gameplay trailer showed a lot of interesting things. It's going to be third-person stealth action horror survival adventure time travel.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other genres here that I might be missing. And of course, hella Japanese.
Yes. So just think of, like, as soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, it's fucking, it's Metal Gear Boondock Saints. And it totally is. So to me, it looks like a Metal Gear Solid game.
Which is not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing at all. And then with the names of the characters and the villains, like they're the homo whatever.
Here, I'll start looking up some stuff.
Oh man, I can't remember what.
Keep talking about it. I'll talk about it.
They have like very very like crazy odd names, and then the cutscenes and the audio that you see that aren't gameplay, very typical Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's very interesting. Like, I do not know what to expect from this game.
So here's an official thing from the Death Stranding website. This would basically be like their own box quote. So, quote, protect your supplies from wild bandits and stay safe from the terrifying beached things, or face failing those who depend on you. The game has an emphasis on the terrain, which will be full of obstacles to overcome. The goal is to find a route through the supernatural elements that can alter the surrounding landscape. Death Stranding will have online functionality, but it won't be typical co-op. Instead, it'll be asynchronous gameplay where you can send supplies, share safe houses, and walk in the footsteps of the fellow couriers to reunite the civilization. It won't have a typical, like, lives or game over screen. If you're killed, you'll reappear in a, quote, upside down realm that you will then have to escape from. And what we saw in this, there's a 9-minute trailer for this. It's a hella long trailer. It looks like you get like sucked down into the earth and you appear in like perpetual
war
hellscapes, and it looked like World War II, World War I, and Nam.
Yep.
But like with like crazy sci-fi tanks and like skeleton warriors and just madness.
Yeah, so, pretty typical stuff of a Kojima game, but it looks awesome. The way that they're going to handle that.
Yeah. They also showed. Looks like it's going to have hand-to-hand combat as well as gunplay. So, I mean, par for the course for Hideo Kojima.
Yep.
So yeah.
One thing that I thought was cool was the motorcycle. Like the vehicle driving looks pretty interesting.
The Akira motorcycle.
Yeah, totally Akira.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, so it looks like motorcycle. For those who haven't seen the trailer, here's how I would put my interpretation of the gameplay. It looks like more Metal Gear Solid 5, which in my opinion is Hideo Kojima's best video gameplay work. So it looks really exciting. It also looks like a lot of more. It's kind of funny. So Metal Gear Solid 5 came out before Breath of the Wild, but it was already a little Breath of the Wild-y in terms of its freedom it gave you in the overworld. So it looks like it's doubling down on that element that it already had in Metal Gear Solid 5, and then incorporating some of the smart choices that Nintendo did in Breath of the Wild into this insane, mature, sci-fi, crazy setting where you're carrying around babies in jars to bridge babies to have you they help you detect these beached things that are these monsters that are invisible, and then there's demon eco terrorists. It's insane, but it's awesome and so Kojima. I love it. I'm on board. So, and then it's starring some really big. So just reading off the cast list of Death Stranding because it's already crazy. So you're playing as Sam Porter Bridges, who will be played by Norman Reedus of Boondock Saints and Walking Dead fame. Mads Mikkelsen will be in the game, playing a character called Cliff. Of course, Mads has done everything from Doctor Strange to Star Wars to, of course, his crazy amazing role as Hannibal Lecter. It's got Lea Seydoux as Fragile, she's a femme fatale, been in the last 3 Mission Impossible films. Margaret Qualley as Mama, and then of course veteran, ultra famous voice actor Troy Baker is playing a villain named Higgs. People have joked that he's this cloaked character in the game. And Hideo Kojima has previously had games where there's a dude and takes off a mask, and then there's a fucked up face underneath the mask. Well, this dude took off a gold mask only to reveal yet another mask underneath him. So it's it's pretty. Really
I have a feeling that he probably didn't want to reveal too much of that. So I have a feeling we'll probably see that dude's face.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to cut it from the trailer.
Your voice got hella shitty, brother.
Sorry, I was mid-yawn.
Oh, well, your yawn fucked everything up.
Well, your face fucked everything up.
Ho ho. Okay, it sounds good again.
I mean, there's really no good way to really explain the trailer or what this game might be about. I would suggest just watching it and speculate, and then maybe read some articles, because it's going to be a very, very interesting game.
Okay, Cut, you are sounding terrible again.
Really?
Yeah, you're sounding
better?
What you just did there, yeah, that sounds better.
Okay.
Yeah, you were sounding really come in, Rogue Leader. Super terrible.
I gotcha.
Okay, you're good now. Okay, cut back in. Yeah, so Death Stranding, it's coming out November 8th, and it's hotly anticipated. Some interesting things have been coming up because technically the game's only been in real development for 3 years, and that is a really quick time for Hideo Kojima, considering he got let go from Konami, he had a non-compete clause, had to build a brand new studio, find backing, find a game engine, so, and like, if you look at the history of Metal Gear Solid games, they've all taken like 5+ years to make. So one of two things is going to happen here, unfortunately. Or I'd be totally welcome to be wrong. Like, that'd be cool too. Either A, the game will unfortunately be amazing looking but rushed, which would suck. Or the game is going to be a hell of a lot fucking shorter than we all think it is. Probably like a 10-hour experience. Because, like, Hideo Kojima's games are typically like crazy long 30+ hour odysseys, would be a good way to say it. So...
And that's not including cutscenes.
So it'll be interesting to see just how much of a game there is, especially because, like we've seen that there's kind of this like post-apocalyptic world and stuff, but we don't know, is that like, is the game map big? Is it small? Like, we don't know. There's not enough iconography in the trailers to like really get a visual sense of like how large the game is. So, yeah. Let's see. Anything else pre-announced?
I think that was it.
Okay, well, let's get into the big list of confirmed games that are going to be at E3 2019. All right, you want to take this first one?
Yeah, okay. So the first one, it's called Ancestors, The Humankind Odyssey. Ancestors, The Humankind Odyssey is the next game from Assassin's Creed creator Patrice Deslets. I don't know. It's French. The concept is ambitious. You play as humanoids through different periods of ancestral time. A single third-person exploration survival game. Ancestors, The Humankind Odyssey starts in Neo Guinea, Africa. I've never even heard of that word. Neon whatever.
Genesis Africa.
Yeah, that's almost.
I feel like it would be Neogene or
Neogene?
Neogene or Neogen. That would
Neogen Africa. Yeah, let's just go with that. I'll have to have Siri tell me this word later. Excuse me. So Odyssey starts in Neogene Africa some 10 million years ago. Over time, you grow and evolve to the... Jesus Christ, there are way
This is
too many big
amazing.
words.
I'm loving hearing you talk about all
to
of this.
The Australopithecus,
Sure.
which is popularly known as Lucy. On your way to becoming Lucy, you'll learn new skills and abilities as you take the form of the next subspecies of humanoid that would eventually become humans of today. Based on early footage, you'll be clambering through the jungle and swinging through the chase, escaping predators, gathering resources, and attempting to survive to live another day. The Human Odyssey launches for PC on August 27th, with PlayStation 4 and Xbox One's version coming sometime in December. So we're likely primed to see this at E3. Huh. That is actually, that sounds like a really fun game.
You know what it reminds me of? It totally reminds me of, what was it, like 10,000? Or I think it was just called BC.
No, it's 10,000 BC.
And it was not the movie. I'm talking about the game from Peter Molyneux, the Fable guy. Remember he had that game and there was gameplay footage of caveman people beating each other and riding dinosaurs and shit? Super old, years ago on the original Xbox. You don't remember that?
No. Oh, I totally would have played that.
Yeah, I mean, it never got finished because
of course,
Peter Molyneux.
Right?
But it totally reminds me of that, except, it's actually going to come out.
Yeah. And be probably more completed than any of those games.
Exactly.
Uh,
So next up on our list, we have Animal Crossing 2019. We don't have a title. We expect that to be revealed on E3's Nintendo Direct. So there's like no data on this. So the only Animal Crossing game we've had in like the last couple of years has been Animal Crossing Pocket Camp on cell phones, which for a cell phone game is pretty good and gives you your Animal Crossing fix. I know I played a fuck ton of it, and Jessica played way the fuck more than a fuck ton of it when that came out, but we both kind of petered out when there wasn't like as much to do, you know, or we got the different decorations or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect from Animal Crossing, because Animal Crossing was always this really weird Nintendo franchise of like this top-down, terrible, like almost like kind of like paper cutout, paper mache type graphics, where you're just like, it's like a microcosm of being an adult. Like you move to a town, you can't pay rent, you owe this fucking crook in the town like billions of dollars, which are called bells in Animal Crossing. And, you know, you're trying to like do jobs and things so you can acquire more furniture and like get a better house. So it's like this kind of like weird Nintendo Japanese take on like it's sort of kind of like Sims.
Second Life.
Oh,
or
no,
Second
Life.
Life.
Life's totally different. So I'm not sure what to expect in Animal Crossing. I would think online connectivity would be a shut-in, you know, like visiting other people's towns.
Yeah.
Because I remember on GameCube, you would like take your save card and go over to a friend's house because it had 2 save card slots, and you'd plug it in and like visit your town and like fuck up your trees and steal your apples. So I would expect some kind of functionality like that. But you know what I think would be really cool is if they like also like did up the art style, you know? Because like it had like a really crappy art style because originally the first game was on the N64 and it was just kind of like this experiment, and they're just like, fuck it on the graphics. But they've like kept the same basic bitch graphics, like, and like I guess it works, you know, like it works on a mobile phone and stuff and all that sort of stuff. But I would think like maybe they could take like do like a different art take on it, maybe. Like maybe make it more Pixar-like or something like that. Like that's just
I personally don't see them doing that. I mean,
yeah, I mean I don't either, but you never know. Seems like every Zelda has a different art style.
Well, Zelda is supposed to be like the cutting edge, and this is Animal Crossing, where you pay rent to a fucking raccoon.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
I think, you know, I think they're probably of the mindset, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they'll probably keep the same art style, keep it kind of low.
Yeah.
On the lower end. And it's worked for the game. It's a huge success for, franchise wise.
Yeah, it's true.
It always seems to be like one of the top sellers. Like I still remember seeing commercials for the DS game like not even a year ago. Or 2 years ago.
Speaking of the DS game, you know, like that's where like all these stories come about, like all these grandmas who play like Animal Crossing, and they like max out the hours counter on the fucking gameplay clock because they played it so fucking much, you know?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if like fucking like grandmas were like, oh, there's a new Animal Crossing
on a Switch.
I guess I'm getting me a Switch.
I mean, honestly, I would totally love to see like just a group of like grandmas rolling hella deep on Switches, just playing Animal Crossing.
You think they like rolling up with like the boombox in like the 90s, like bow, 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 like,
yeah, on their little
just
carts
shades.
And stuff. Yeah, I totally see it. I would love it.
Oh man, that takes me back to like all those like terrible 90s ads.
Oh right,
where like it's just like grandmas, like one of them's got like the fucking like blind cane, and they're like, "Sup, like new Animal Crossing." Get it now with your don't forget to step into a Slim Jim and get your 99-cent Slurpee free on us. Fucking terrible.
I mean, I love it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, so new Animal Crossing. It's expected holiday time this year. Nobody knows what to expect from it. Just going briefly over some of the things they've had in the past games. They've had seasons. They've had an in-game clock where you like actually have to wake up at 3 fucking a.m. to catch certain fish.
That's kind of awesome.
They've had like town trading. They've had like holiday cycles and stuff like that, where there's like different events that happen like around Christmas time and Halloween and stuff like that. They have like all kinds of like these like virtual community type situations. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly this one will have. So, all right. Want to take the next one there, seeing as you actually play this one?
Yeah, Apex Legends. Now, game's been out for a while. I'm assuming there's going to be some more updates or something. So, Apex Legends stormed onto the Battle Royale scene in February, made a huge impact, and kind of unseated Fortnite for a while. But it's kind of slowed down because there's just not a lot there. It's a fun game, but it's easy to pretty much play everything and anything. So let's see. It looks like E3 they're going to be new content and like a game plan for the new season. Just basic stuff for it. I like this game. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad that they're going to be at E3 announcing new guns, probably some new characters, hopefully. And,
I would hope some new modes, personally.
Yeah,
because there's been a lot of rumors about, like, I think there's been Capture the Flag rumors, and then, of course, adding Titans to the game.
That would be interesting.
Because if you don't know and you play Apex Legends is legitimately in the Titanfall universe. And, like, it's basically a game in the Titanfall universe without Titans. So if they added Titans, that would be dope as fucking hell. Yeah. Because they've got a bazillion people playing their game, which unfortunately was the problem with Titanfall 2. Very sad that it died a slow player-based death. Because the game was fucking awesome. It had like the best first-person shooting I've ever experienced. And Apex Legends is just as smooth, and if they added giant fucking robots, that would make me happy.
Giant robots with gun swords.
Exactly, with guns on their sword, with their sword swords made of guns.
Yeah, that shoots guns. Sword that shoots guns.
That's
and a gun
probably
that
in Borderlands
swords.
3.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see what they're gonna announce. Like you said, modes. I personally would like a new map, or like
I would like a new map too.
Because there is only one map. They had that, but the map is huge, and you have different areas you can land in. But I would personally like to see another island or
I would like
arena.
I would like a different island. I kind of hope they don't go the way that Fortnite has gone, where they basically just like blow up a quarter of the map and completely change it.
Yeah.
Like, it might be cool, but at the same time, it's like you're already copying enough from Fortnite and other Battle Royale games as it is. So like, just do different maps, you know? Like,
yeah, I agree with that.
Just do some different modes, different maps, like start diversifying yourself. Like, that's what I want, personally.
Agreed.
Yeah. So there's another game on the list here called Astral Chain, which actually came from a Nintendo Direct back in February. It's a new title from Platinum Games that has you inhabiting a pair of Special Forces soldiers who partner with a living robotic weapon called Legion for combat and solving puzzles. From the looks of things, Astral Chain will feature some fast-paced combat and take you through a futuristic sci-fi city. While we don't know a ton about Astral Chain, we do know about its pedigree. It's the latest effort from game designer Takahashi Tahura, who worked on Nier Automata, and is being supervised by Hideki Kamiya, the creator of Bayonetta. So 2 big combat games that are well beloved. I mean, I didn't play Nier Automata. I know one of my friends, Killbot, who's been on this show a whole grand 1 times. Big fan of Nier Automata. Like, really fun action game, apparently. And they're making a Bayonetta 3, so people like Bayonetta, and she's in Smash.
Yeah.
So probably good signs then for this Astral Chain then. So we'll see. Apparently it's rumored to be hitting the Switch on August. Oh no, I guess it is confirmed. Never mind. It's hitting the Switch on August 30th. So probably see more details at E3. So there you go.
Sounds cool.
Yep.
So next game is another Platinum game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Babylon's Fall. Babylon Fall popped up with a teaser trailer at the 2018 E3. It didn't show any gameplay, though, but it did give some intriguing looks into the world. The trailer moved through the timeline of a huge high fantasy world, highlighting a number of major events, including a few battles and at least one apocalypse. And what people look like, and what looked like an angel burning a bunch of people alive in something called Punishment. That's awesome. Apart from the thousands of years of very vague history setting up the story of Babylon's Fall, we don't know anything else. The game's being published by Square Enix, and it's due out sometime in 2019. So we'll probably get a release date and some actual gameplay footage from this. I mean, I remember this trailer.
Yeah,
and
vaguely. Me too.
I was just like, what the fuck? This is kind of... It was almost like... not Myst. God, maybe it was where you're basically God, and you either destroy the civilization or you help them along.
Are you thinking of Just Dust?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking
or not
of.
Just Dust, For Dust.
Yeah,
That weird Ubisoft game that I fucking loved.
yeah,
Way ahead of its time.
yeah. I remember thinking about that game when I saw this teaser.
Sweet.
Personally, like, it sounds like it's going to be a fun game, but without actual gameplay or any kind of info. I mean, it seems like Platinum's been pretty tight-lipped about it.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Moving on. So, Battletoads.
Yes.
From Rare, actually. And also co-developed by D La La Studios. So it was first announced last year at Xbox E3 2018 press conference. It's the infamously hard side-scrolling beat 'em up. Is supposed to hit Xbox One and PC sometime in 2019.
Love that game.
Not much to know other than it's going to be couch co-op, 4K, 2.5D graphics perspective, as well as hand-drawn graphics. So it's probably going to be pretty and have cheeky humor, especially since it's Rare and they're well known for their cheeky humor. And I guess there was a teaser last year of motorbikes, which I guess is a callback to a hard level that they had. So yeah, Battletoads. I mean, so when I was growing up, my boy Brock here, I was the Sega Genesis kid on the block, and he was the Super NES kid on the block.
Yep.
And I only remember pain on Battletoads, and I remember it was super fucking hard back in the 90s. Like that's what it was like known for. And I remember being like, man, this is really hard, and these are Ninja Turtle knockoffs.
Yeah, it essentially was. But yeah, I remember that game being almost painful. It was just painful to like play. And I don't think it had very many like cheat codes.
Mm.
Like I don't remember any cheat codes like level jump codes or like extra life codes like off the top of my head for it. So I mean it was just a very difficult game, and it's has a very notorious background for it too. So I'm actually kind of excited for it though.
Yeah, we gotta get you an Xbox One, buddy.
Yeah, I'd rather get a new TV first.
Oh, me too. Me too. No argument from me there.
All right. So the next game, Bayonetta 3. And again, another Platinum. It sounds like Platinum Games is going to just have a fuck ton of stuff to drop.
They've been making, like, they're such an odd studio. So they're a bunch of people, they're basically ex-Capcom people.
Yeah.
And, like, they're, like, really well known for, like, making a bunch of combat games and stuff. And so, like, they've always made a fuck ton of games. Like, you know, they'll have, like, Bayonettas. They did the Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance with Raiden. They did.
Oh, okay, yes.
Like, they just made a fucking fuck ton of games. Like, here, why don't you talk about that, and I'll pull up a list of what all Platinum's made.
Okay. All right. So Bayonetta 3, it is going to be a Switch exclusive. The first trailer dropped sometime in 2017. Yeah, Jesus. So this has been in development for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It was originally slated for 2019, but apparently Nintendo has shifted it, so maybe closer to 2020. There's no info on it, but I can't imagine Nintendo pushing its release date to 2020. Like, that's because they're going to miss the holiday rush, which is a huge deal for the gaming industry in general.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got their list here. Okay, so do you remember the weird black and white chainsaw massacring, killing people, throwing them on spikes game on the Wii called Mad World?
Yes.
And it was fucking narrated by the goddamn Greg Proops from Whose Line Is It Anyway? So that
yes.
So that was their first game.
Okay.
Back on the Wii. They made another game called Infinite Space on Nintendo DS. I don't know what that is. Then they did Bayonetta, which was a joint effort between Nintendo and Sega. Oh, fuck, they did Vanquish. That's right. Oh, man, Vanquish is so good. Did you ever play Vanquish with me?
I don't think I did.
Oh, it's so good. It was basically Japanese doing Gears of War, and it was just hella, just fucking ridiculous. Like, his arm turned into a gun, and you would, like, slide on your knees that had rocket pads in slow motion with like a fucking laser coming out of your fucking face. Like, it was so ridiculous, but it was amazing. It'd be like, I don't know. It was a really good shooter. Vanquish is fantastic. They did another game called Anarchy Reigns. Then, of course, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. They did a game called The Wonderful 101. Bayonetta 2. Oh, they did the Legend of Korra game. Nice. That's actually a pretty good game.
I've never played any of it.
It's super short. It's like 3 hours long, but it's really only 2.5 hours long, but there's a legitimate like whole episode of Legend of Korra in there, like with animation and everything.
Oh, nice. That's
it's
cool.
Super fucking cool. They did Transformers Devastation. I guess they did an 8-bit Bayonetta. Oh, they did Star Fox Zero, Star Fox Guard. They did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan. Oh, they did Nier Automata. And then, of course, they've got Astral Chain and Babylon Fall coming in 2019. And then listed here, Bayonetta 3, Lost Order, World of Demons, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, And then the infamously canceled Scalebound, which looked super fucking amazing, but unfortunately got canceled by Microsoft. Do you remember seeing trailers for that game?
It sounds familiar, but I can't remember it.
So just imagine like fucking anime dude with like wearing like Beats by Dre, and he's like commanding dragons, and you like raise dragons to fight other dragons. And it's like open world, and it was going to be like 4-player co-op, and it was like a big showcase for like Xbox.
That sounds yeah, that sounds
but it got
pretty
canceled because apparently it was dog shit.
cool.
So, I mean, so it goes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So yeah, so Bayonetta 3 coming out at some point. So this one is like super fucking close to my heart because Beyond Good and Evil 2, besides looking fucking bonkers, absolutely have you fucking seen a gameplay video for Beyond Good and Evil 2?
No, I've only seen the trailer that was released last year.
Okay, so you remember the first game, right?
Yeah, I love that game. I think I own it on Steam, actually.
Yeah. So Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a open world universe Sky Pirate GTA Star Fox / stealth action / co-op game. Like, it's so radically different than the Beyond Good and Evil that we like grew up with. But like, it basically looks like it's fucking Firefly. Like,
yeah,
you're sky pirates, you're stealing fucking shit from trains, you're like forming a team, it's co-op, it's online. They have these giant procedural worlds, No Man's Sky style. Like, it looks fucking insane. And they showed a bunch of it off last year at E3 2018 because it's been in development for like
a decade.
A fucking while at this point. So it's going to be a third-person action adventure, co-op, spaceship, dogfighting. It has a weird partnership with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's online community Hit Record, where fans are literally making music and like art assets for the game that they're going to use. Like, so there's this huge community-driven element of it too. Like, it's insane.
That's super cool.
But the word on the street is that it's going to be playable by the public at E3 this year. Given that it's been being developed for like a fucking long time, and Ubisoft's money and talent is behind it. So, you know, they like, even if their game comes out bad, they like stick with it until it's good again. You know, so very, very confident in Beyond Good and Evil 2. Just super, super excited for that game. Definitely, it's probably my most anticipated game by far. I know I talk about it every time on the podcast, but like, it's one of those weird games where back when it came out in 2003, I bought a copy for every fucking platform. PC, Mac, fucking PlayStation 2, GameCube, original Xbox. Like, just love that game.
It was a very good game.
So, looking forward to that. Hope we get a release date, because it's been in development forever. Like,
yes,
I'd kind of hate for it to like slip to like next gen consoles, I guess. I mean, it looks like overly ambitious. Like, it is the most ambitious Ubisoft game I've ever seen. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
So this game, Borderlands 3, this is one that I love. Been playing. I remember getting a Game Informer when the first one was being released, and it had a bunch of like an actual paper copy of Game Informer in the mail, and the title was like Borderlands, the next big thing or something. I think I still have that copy somewhere. But I remember reading this article and looking at the shots, and I was just like, oh my God, this was going to be so amazing. And then like not even 6 months later, they're like, oh, they've scrapped the graphics. They're gonna go with this weird toony looking vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being
remember
so
why?
upset.
Remember?
No, I don't actually remember why.
It was because of Rage.
Oh,
so
okay.
Rage had their trailer, and it was a post-apocalyptic Mad Max style wasteland, which is what Borderlands is, and it was by id.
Yeah.
And they're Gearbox, and they were basically only known for doing Halo PC and the Brothers in Arms games at that point. And so they're like, fuck, we have to do something different to stand out, or we're going to be compared to Rage. And they're like, oh, Rage is going to be better, and it's doing all these things, and it's being made by the fucking legend John Carmack. You know, they're like, fuck us in the ass, which came out the same year, which is ironic, because here we are in 2019, where Rage 2 just came out a month ago.
Yeah,
and now
Rage,
we've got Borderlands 3 coming out this summer.
Rage
so
flopped on its ass.
And the original Rage.
Yeah, Rage flopped on its ass, not Rage 2.
Yeah.
Borderlands changed everything up and turned into this still a post-apocalyptic Mad Max, but through like Joker tinted glasses and this just monstrosity, and it's amazing. But I do remember being so crushed when that happened. And I think you were the only one being like, no, dude, we gotta get it and try it. And I got it, and I was like, fuck, I fell in love with the game. So much funny, just insane shit that goes on. Borderlands 2 was also just another amazing game. I actually just recently picked it up right before fucking the Handsome Collection goes free on PlayStation Network.
Which, speaking of which, for all you Fork fam out there listening to the show right now, Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, which includes Borderlands 2 plus all DLC, and Borderlands the pre-sequel plus all DLC, is one of two games that is the free PlayStation Plus games of the month. Sonic Mania is the other, and Borderlands the Handsome Collection. I encourage all of our Fork fam, if you don't already have it, like myself and Brock, to pick up the Handsome Collection, because I don't think there's been another game that has as much content and value in it. Like, the only thing I could honestly compare the amount of content in those Borderlands games to is like a Grand Theft Auto game. Like, just an asinine amount of content. And it's good content too. Like, it's not garbage either.
And you can play co-op with up to 4 people, which is also a really cool feature. It's one of the few games that I actually enjoy being on squads with. Yeah,
because it's the looter shooter before all the other looter shooters came out.
It really was.
And I'll be honest, they're still doing things that current looter shooters are failing to grasp.
Yeah,
you know, like fucking
with
trading.
Legs.
Yeah, guns with legs. Fucking, and lots of content. You know.
Yeah,
it boggles my mind how much content is in Borderlands. Man, these other guys.
Yep. So that is definitely going to be a big one at E3 this year. So, but there was also something, I don't know if it's been confirmed or not yet, but earlier this week I saw something about some Borderlands 2 getting new DLC so that you can transition from Borderlands 2 into Borderlands 3 with like this little DLC pack that was supposedly supposed to get you up to date on what's happened in between the periods of 2 and 3, because from the looks of it, a lot of time has passed. Like one of the characters, Tiny Tina, she's no longer tiny. She's like full grown woman, blow you up kind of thing. So that I'm interested in too, which would be awesome.
Yeah,
So
that'd be really insane. Like, a lot of people are like, that sounds crazy. Why would they, because they just had 4K updates and stuff to all of the Borderlands games, and they remastered 1, and here they are giving 2 and the pre-sequel away for free. Like, really building up the hype
oh yeah, they
for
totally are.
Borderlands 3 in the best possible way. So, I don't know, it's pretty remarkable. One second here. I'm actually logging into my PlayStation right now to see if these PlayStation Plus games are live yet at the time of this recording on June 2nd. Let's
They
see.
should be. They should have gone live yesterday.
Usually it takes a couple of days. They're not as fast as Xbox with their free games. Usually there's like some day lag or something. And yeah, it's not up yet.
Oh, that's stupid.
So probably Tuesday is usually when the store resets.
Yeah.
So probably in like 2 days. So
Okay.
that'd be cool. I'd love to get a group of like you, me, and Kono and Daniel or something.
Yeah, I think that would
That'd
be a lot of fun.
Yeah, ton of fun. Speaking of stuff, just because I totally forgot about it and I turned on my PlayStation 4, Anthem had an update. And it's set
Another one?
the update that happened like a couple days ago.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah, so Anthem had an update that fixed a bunch of bugs and also laid the preliminary groundwork for the forthcoming Cataclysm event. And they showed off a live stream as well as talked about all the changes coming to Anthem. One, there's a big, huge new map expansion coming to Anthem for free. It's going to be set like down on like this tropical area where there's this storm going on. And it's going to be a 9-week event once it launches. There is unfortunately no release date yet for this new content. They were just showing it off, and since they were showing it off in a stream like a day ago, I assume it's coming soon, especially with E3 around the corner. And actually, EA has the first. It's like Friday. It's like next Friday is their E3 press conference. So
Okay.
I would imagine there's probably announcements like that coming there. There'll be 3 new story missions, actually, which is an interesting thing. Cutscenes and stuff coming to Anthem in this update as well. They'll be adding melee equipable weapons, which sounds dope as fucking hell to me, as well as new Masterworks gear and new high-tier legendary equipment. And in addition, by popular demand, they are destroying the luck category on your RPG stats in this game, which basically told the game what percentage of RNG you might get based on what equipment you have. Everybody universally is the luck stat is basically dying, which they've said essentially means on their back-end system, everybody has 100% luck, always, no matter what. So that'll increase loot drop rates and hopefully help that old community over there. So, and I watched some of the video, and the new content looks fun, and I'm looking forward to it. Give me a release date, please.
All right. All right.
So getting back to the list here, I think it was my turn, kind of.
Yes, it was.
So we got some game called Code Vein. So this article says Code Vein is a strange game, but it has still caught a lot of people's attention. It's a post-apocalyptic action RPG starring a vampire who seems ripped straight from a 90s anime series and feels heavily inspired by From Software's Souls games. Other than that, others that are heavy inspired by the Souls games tend to emphasize isolation, the undone protagonist of Code Vein is partnered up with an AI ally, letting you team up to overcome the various monsters and demons that lurk about in the ruins of the old world. You also use a variety of over-the-top weapons and vampiric abilities to slay your enemies, eventually coming to blows with the game's challenging bosses. Code Vein was supposed to launch in September 2018, but was delayed to sometime this year. E3 2019 makes for an excellent time to reveal its final release date. Even though Souls-style games have become increasingly common, Code Vein's visual style and approach means it's setting itself apart from others. So, yeah.
I mean, it sounds cool. I mean, I've never been a big fan of Dark Souls, so I don't have any desire to really get this one. I mean, I'll watch and see what it's about, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems meh.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we already kind of covered the next one.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
It has a
Modern
release date
Warfare.
of October 25th. So
Oh wow.
that's a thing.
Yeah. Crossplay. Yeah, it seems like we covered all that.
And then Captain Price is returning.
Yep.
Yep. That's it. We talked a lot about it at the start.
Yeah, we did. Do you want me to just take the next one?
Sure, you can.
Control. Control was one of the surprise announcements at E3 2018 as Remedy's first game after the ambitious multimedia project that was Quantum Break. It was exciting to see the studio return to developing a more straightforward experience. Of course, Control is also impressive looking because its world is anything but straightforward, calling to mind bits and pieces of Remedy's previous supernatural tinged games. Since the reveal last year, we've been given a chance to try Control for ourselves. Lead character Jess possesses almost superhero-like powers, such abilities such as the ability to glide in midair and manipulate the environment with her mind. She is an unusual person in an unusual setting, a government facility that houses paranormal experiments gone awry. The building itself is said to shift and change shape, sometimes right before your very eyes, with geometric forms of the brutalist architecture bending, swaying, and twirling to reveal new hallways or even glimpses into another plane of existence. Control looks weird, dripping with odd sights and unexpected surprises. And with a release a mere few months away, it is sure to be at E3. This sounds really cool.
Have you seen a trailer for this?
No, I haven't. I'm going to look it up, though.
So, I mean, it's Remedy. So, Alan Wake, Max Payne.
Yep, love those games.
It's going to be that kind of game, but with superpowers. And you're basically inside this giant monolithic building, and then the building itself is basically twisting and turning like Inception or those scenes in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So it looks pretty fucking rad and out there. It looks rad.
I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So big one here, Cyberpunk 2077. Ever since the fantastic gameplay reveal last year, CD Projekt Red's new open world sci-fi action RPG has become one of the most hotly anticipated games heading into E3 2019. Based on the well-loved tabletop RPG series, Cyberpunk 2077 puts a lot of emphasis on letting you create your character and forge a path that's all your own in the bustling setting of Night City. When compared to the developer's stellar action RPG The Witcher 3, it's immediately apparent that Cyberpunk 2077 is a different beast, trading out swords and sorcery for guns and high-tech cybernetics. The neon-lit metropolis of Night City is undoubtedly a far cry from the forests of Spitfire Bluff, which should make for an incredibly exciting space to explore. Before E3 2018, Cyberpunk 2077 was one of those games that was announced far too early and was seldom seen, often finding itself on most anticipated lists several years straight. However, it seems the long wait is well worth it. So far, Cyberpunk 2077 manages to check all the boxes when it comes to presenting a compelling sci-fi experience. With E3 2019 approaching, it's prime time to see more of the game in action. It'll be exciting to see just how expansive the side alleys and corporate-owned skyscrapers can get. So I own The Witcher 3. I've yet to play it. It's one of those games that I know is going to take a bazillion hours from me, and I'm probably going to love it. What'll probably happen is I'll probably end up watching the Netflix TV series, and I'll probably dig into Witcher because I'll be like, yeah, now I got a game to play with a show that made me love the thing. Probably. But
Who knows?
I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, it definitely caught a lot of eyes when that gameplay trailer came out, and I've been intrigued for it. I'm glad that we're getting closer and closer to a release date for it because it's been fucking
like
feels like forever.
like 9 years or whatever.
Yeah, it
Something
feels
crazy.
like forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting since Witcher 3 is third person and Cyberpunk will be first person. So it'll be probably like GTA Deus Ex.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking, which sounds great. So
it does actually. All right. So the next one is Daemon X Machina.
It's Machina.
I don't know if that's spelled right then. Coming from developer Marvelous, a pretty well-known studio, the same studio that behind niche action games like Senran Kagura and Fate Extra. Daemon X Machina is a noticeable shift from their playful titles. Announced last year for the Nintendo Switch, this mech action game possesses similarities from Software's classic Armored Core series. I remember playing those actually. Weren't bad. Featured a deep focus on customization along with a plethora of weapons and abilities to wipe out the opposition. We don't get that many mech-oriented action games these days, so when Daemon X Machina was revealed, it instantly turned the heads of most of the Die Zero hard fans of the niche subgenre. All right. So with E3 2019 coming up, we hopefully will be able to see more of this game's scope along with a release date as well. The last demo released in February on the Nintendo eShop was a decent taste of what's to come in the final release.
So speaking on that, I've actually played a little bit of this demo. It's on Switch right now. You can actually download it too.
Okay.
Like it's just free. So the good parts of it. It has a cool art style, and there is a fuck ton of character like customization options, like just like bonanzas, like crazy, like just your own pilot to the mech, all that sort of stuff. The actual gameplay is good, but the demo was kind of buggy, which is kind of weird for a demo.
Yeah.
So I get that maybe they were probably looking for like a lot of feedback. Like maybe like they released the demo. Like, so I get that what I get from the demo is they're trying to develop it the way there's a Square Enix RPG Octopath Traveler that had like a demo that came out at E3 like a whole year before the actual game came out. And they were able to adjust the game to the way their actual audience wanted. And I'm getting that kind of sense with it. Like, they're thinking of going in this direction with it, but that they're probably going to change it, like, fine-tune a lot of the systems that they already have in place and, like, make it more tied towards, like, what people want it to be. So, I would say, you know, like, I only played, like, one level match, not sure of the game, but it's interesting. I'm looking forward to it because I like mech games just in general. But like I really want like here's what I want in a mech game. I want the mech game to either make me feel like super fast and powerful, like in do you remember the Virtual On arcade games?
Yes.
Yeah. I want a game like that is like fast and powerful and furious and amazing. Or I want it to feel like a lumbering giant of like fucking destruction and like my movement like crushes towns and stuff. Like I don't know. I have not really played a game that makes me feel this way, but like I want to feel like I'm in an Evangelion fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I totally know what you mean.
That's what I fucking want in a mech game. And there's elements that this game could be like that, but we'll see. So that's what I got to say in the demo.
Okay.
So yeah. I guess next one up is mine. Doom Eternal. Yeah, I'm fucking stoked for Doom Eternal because Doom 2016. Okay, so I'll be honest. I have a weird relationship with Doom 2016. So they rebooted Doom. I've played every single fucking Doom. And I've loved all of them, including the very different Doom 3, that's like more exploratory and horror based and all that sort of stuff. But Doom 2016 is interesting. So they released a demo on Xbox One, I remember, before the game came out. And I played it, and it was a fucking terrible demo. Like, it was not a good slice of the game to show. Like, you fight some of the pissant enemies, and you're like in this outside area, and like you only get like a couple of guns, and it was just like, oh, this is Doom now? Oh, this is fucking terrible. And so I didn't pick up Doom 2016. And then Doom 2016 came around, and it won like various Game of the Year awards and soundtrack awards and gameplay awards, and I was like, from what? It's terrible. And then over the years, I kept hearing on podcasts, people would be like, oh, like Doom 2016, man, like, you got to give it a shot. You got to give it a shot. And I'm just like, what the fuck is everybody talking about? I played the demo. What I played was crap. It's fucking garbage. And again, I guess he keeps coming back on. He should just fucking come on the show. My fucking friend Killbot played Doom 2016. And he was like, dude, you gotta fucking play Doom 2016. I was like, God damn it. Everybody's fucking telling me to play Doom 2016. And then they announced a Switch port. And I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll play Doom 2016 on my fucking Switch. How about that? And so fucking got it, downloaded it, played it. And even though obviously it doesn't look as good as the other console versions because it's the Switch, that fucking game is fucking rad as fucking hell. Like,
Yeah.
Doom 2016 is amazing, and I take back every bad thing I said about it. What I will say is, the fucking demo that's on Xbox Live is fucking terrible. Don't believe it. That's what I'll say about Doom 2016. So, now that Doom Eternal's coming out, and it's got like fucking grappling hooks, and like hell's coming to Earth, and you're like fucking laying down the law, and it looks like more of the same amped up 90s... like, I'm gonna fuck everything up on this level, grab the blue key card, and then fucking kick a monster's face in while, like, riding down a staircase, shotgunning fucking flaming head demon things that are coming at me. Like, I'm all for Doom Eternal. And, like, they've got a good mold. It's coming to every fucking platform, including Stadia. Doom Eternal's coming for Switch, Xbox, PC, PS4. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say. It's the sequel to Doom 2016. If you love Doom 2016, here's more of that, amped up even more, which sounds awesome. It also had a fucking dope ass heavy metal soundtrack, and take that what it may, coming from me, from who's I'm not particularly a heavy metal fan, but I do love game soundtracks, and that fucking soundtrack sure shit gets your shit pumping. So that's what I've got. That's what I got on that one.
Okay. Fair enough. Next game is Untitled Dragon Age game. So I don't even there's nothing official been released about the next Dragon Age game. They dropped a trailer at the Game Awards in 2018. In 2019, January, a new BioWare job listing suggested that the fourth Dragon Age game would be coming out, would be some sort of multiplayer. The announcement trailer also implies Dragon Age Inquisition, Solus, aka the Dreadwolf, will play a major role in the fourth game. In April 2019, Kotaku revealed the complicated development history with Anthem's negatively impacting BioWare's other games, most notably the fourth Dragon Age, the development of which was scrapped and rebooted in October 2017. In the wake of Anthem's poor reception, it makes us a tad worried about the state of Dragon Age. However, this doesn't change our wanting to see exactly what BioWare has in store for the franchise's next chapter. The development hasn't announced plans for reveal at this year's E3. It's plausible to see it there. So I mean, this isn't even an actual like.
They had a CGI trailer.
I mean, but that doesn't mean shit.
And then the core team from Anthem has moved over onto that project.
Yeah.
While the live team continues on Anthem. So basically, that means BioWare Edmonton has moved off of Anthem onto Dragon Age, while BioWare Texas moves on to Anthem.
Okay.
That's really what all that means.
Well, I mean, hopefully we get some more info. Because, I mean, it sounds like there's nothing out there on this game right now.
Other than it's been announced.
Yeah, which doesn't mean anything, really.
Yeah, it's true enough. So next game here, I'll be totally honest, I don't give two fucks about. Be totally honest. Letting some of our audience down. I know who you are. It's okay. I still like you. There's a Dragon Ball Z RPG coming. So that's a thing. From Arc System Works' success with the Dragon Ball Z Fighters, or Fighter Z, fuck that name. Success with Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I'm just gonna read the article because I don't care. Arc System Works' success with Dragon Ball Fighter Z has refreshed our taste for the Akira Toriyama's classic anime universe. Though we've seen DBZ RPGs in the past, the upcoming game is the first in a long time that aims to retell the story from the anime that many fans already know and love in the form of what looks to be an open-world action RPG. Beyond that, there's little else we know about the game. The only trailer out there showcases familiar locations, trailers, and events, but there's not much to go by in terms of how the game will actually play. CyberConnect 2 is currently making the game with a broad 2019 release date. So it's probably a safe bet that we'll learn more from Bandai Namco once we hit the ground at E3 in LA. All right, so two things. One, of what little I do know about DBZ, an open world action RPG sounds suitable for that franchise, right? You probably know DBZ better than I do.
Yeah.
But two, sorry, DBZ fans, I'm going to kind of shit on you here. CyberConnect 2 is making this. So, CyberConnect 2 was hired by Square Enix to make the Final Fantasy VII remake. And then they got fired from said remake last year. And then we had a trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake earlier this year. Now Square Enix is making the actual fucking game. So, one of two things happened. Either CyberConnect 2 is incompetent. Maybe.
Probably.
Or CyberConnect 2 doesn't know how to make a fucking action RPG, because that's what they were making with Final Fantasy VII Remake. They were turning it into an action RPG. So, take... that's what I got on that one.
And yeah, it doesn't give me a lot of hope personally.
So,
next game, Dragon Quest Builders. Dragon Quest Builders 2. Well, gotta get it right.
I love how you fucked that up. You're just like, Dragon Quest Builders. No! Dragon Quest Builders 2. Fucking terrible.
I mean, I played Dragon Quest. I don't know if Builders is related to that.
So, like, if you read their... Like, I played a demo. So, Dragon Quest Builders is... like,
it's like Minecraft. I don't even fucking care. If it's like Minecraft, it can die.
It's Minecraft plus Dragon Quest.
Die.
Okay.
Die.
Fine.
Fuck Minecraft.
All right, Brock has spoken. Dragon Quest Builders 2. It's coming. It's Minecraft Dragon Age. What more do you need to know? Speaking of Dragon Age, Dragon Quest 11, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Definitive Edition. Square Enix critically acclaimed Dragon Quest XI is headed to Nintendo Switch sometime this year as the definitive version of the game. The port is mostly the same as the PS4 and PC counterparts, but includes some bonus extras such as optional Japanese voice audio, an orchestrated version of the soundtrack, and the ability to switch to a 16-bit interface modeled after the visuals from the Super NES era of Dragon Quest. So it's an old game that's already good.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, that sounds like fun. That sounds fucking cool.
There you go.
Not fucking Minecraft bullshit.
Why don't I take the next one, and then you can take the next one after that, since I think we both care more about the other games.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, so Final Fantasy VII Remake. Aside from Resident Evil 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake is probably the most highly anticipated remake in a long time. However, it's going to look and play a whole lot different from the 1997 original. The game will follow a more modern design featuring a third-person camera and real-time combat. Updated character design rides a line between realistic and stylized art. Though the most interesting detail about the remake is that it's going to be released as multiple games. Since Final Fantasy VII's remake's reveal at E3 2015, we've received a few details throughout the years about the upcoming adventure. The most recent look we got was during this past month's PlayStation State of Play presentation, which offered new glimpses of the game's most iconic opening moments. We've seen Cloud and Barret fighting off Shinra soldiers at the power reactor, Cloud meeting Aerith for the first time, and more. But saddled at the end of that exciting reveal was an important note. More details coming about the upcoming remake this June, which of course means E3. So I'm excited to hear that now that Square Enix has retaken over development for it. I just hope it's good, like, Final Fantasy has had a long history of being kind of a mixed bag. It's either really, really good or really good, but not like your cup of tea, like it's somebody else's cup of tea,
Yeah.
Like, for example, like I have a bunch of friends who love fucking Final Fantasy 14 online. They fucking love that game. I've tried to play that game. That is not my cup of tea. I understand its appeal. Not for me.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I hope 7's action RPG is good. Because obviously, like, I don't know. Like, I approve of it being an action RPG because I prefer that now versus turn-based. And don't get me wrong, I like turn-based RPGs. But, like, if you're going to do a remake, like, you don't need to fix what ain't broke in Final Fantasy VII. You know what I mean? Like, just go play Final Fantasy VII. It's available in HD and all that sort of shit. Like, it's fucking available on Switch. Like...
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Dude, like, all the Final Fantasies are available on Switch. Like, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. They're all on Switch HD remasters.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. So, I'm excited for it. I just don't want it to be another fucking Final Fantasy 15 where it legitimately takes 15 fucking years for it to come out. Please, don't do that. All right, you're
agreed. So, next game is Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm a big fan of the franchise and have been for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the latest in the long-beloved tactical RPG series. You will assume the role of Beliath, a former mercenary and professor at the Church of Sirios Officers Academy. While making decisions for yourself, you'll also follow the stories of three students and heirs to rival nations. The Artistan Empire, the Holy Kingdom of Feragus, go with that, and the Leicester Alliance. As to be expected, the Fire Emblem Three Houses features the series' classic turn-based battles. However, some new additions are thrown in, such as expanded unit control, deeper character progression, and ability to freely roam a hub area to interact with units and gather intel. Nintendo has announced a fair amount of detail about the game in the last few months, but we're sure it'll have more to say at this year's E3. This one makes me excited. All these little things like being able to actually walk around and interact with units.
Yeah.
The deeper like relationships or character progression is super cool. They had a little bit of that in the older Fire Emblems, but there was only so much you could do on a DS, really. You game wise. So I think with it being on the Switch, it's gonna open a lot of doors and possibilities for this this franchise and make it even better and more fleshed out than it already is.
So, as a fan, because I know you talk about playing a lot of Awakening, me too, because it's amazing.
Yeah, it's an awesome game.
Is this like day one purchase or wait for reviews?
You know what? This is probably going to be one of the few games that I day one purchase.
Oh, really? You love them that much?
I really, really do.
Nice.
Yeah, but
okay.
Better not get shit on, because I mean I feel kind of shit on from Anthem, but that's
right.
That's neither here nor there.
You've got a whole thing about day one purchases.
Yes, I do.
Not being what they used to be.
They're not, unfortunately.
It's so funny. We brought this up the other day, and we were talking about because like I'll day one purchase if I'm super excited about it, even if the game is like bad or mediocre, and like I understand Brock's gripes on feeling shit on No Man's Sky, or to the extent that there's only so much to do in Anthem and then it's over. But I made a point, I think a couple days ago to you, that pretty much the only guarantees you have anymore are Sony first-party exclusives and Nintendo games, because they still put in their quality control. And Fire Emblem is sure as shit a Nintendo game. It's a main Nintendo game. Like, there's like fucking 8 characters of the 75 player roster in Smash Brothers are fucking Fire Emblems, bitches.
Yeah, they are.
So, I don't know. I think it has a good chance of being super good.
I do too. That's why I feel comfortable day one buying it.
Me personally, I hope that it recaptures some of the magic of Awakening. Because I know they had a sequel there to Awakening. They had like 2 sequels where they had like 2 different campaigns or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? They had another 3DS game, and I watched the videos of it, and like they were talking about the story and the differences and stuff, and none of it looked appealing to me as it did in Awakening. So, I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from. I didn't play those sequels because I didn't really feel like they were like what you're saying. They didn't capture that kind of feel to them from what I saw.
Yeah,
we could be totally wrong, and somebody's gonna post on after this comes out and say, "Nah, man, you got to play." And I'm honestly more than willing to go pick up another Fire Emblem game for my DS, because I still play Awakenings as it is now.
You know what I'd like? I would like fucking Switch versions of those.
Like, I would too.
I know there's a ton of people out there that are just like, just port all the Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS games to Switch.
Oh, they totally should.
Like, I'm kind of honest, like, yeah, why not? Don't get me wrong. Like, I love my 3DS. Few people who actually loves and enjoys the 3D part of the 3DS, but I also love laying in my bed with my Switch screen hooked up with a Dr. Octopus arm and my Joy-Cons and chilling until I fall asleep. Like,
yeah, that
is my go-to to fall asleep, and it is dope as hell. So, more of that, please.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they just straight ported all the old games over, like, I would totally go download Pokemon Red and Gold. Like, I would totally buy those again on the Switch.
I mean, they definitely need their classic eShop, which is crazy that they haven't done it yet, considering the popularity of the Switch. So, because it's like 3DS, like I have all of the old Sonic Game Gear games on my 3DS, because like it's the only place to play them.
Yeah,
unless you have a legally. Yeah, but I don't, because I fucking sold it like a peasant.
Yes, you did.
Do you want to take the? I mean, I'll just take the next 2. because I
Okay.
probably care about them more.
Yeah, that's fine.
So Gears 5, total honesty moment. I've not played Gears 4. Jessica's dad has played Gears 4 and has told me that it is an amazing soft reboot continuation of the series. And that is Brock's child guest starring in the background.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I was never a big fan of Gears.
Really? You played like all of them with me.
Yeah, they were okay. I just didn't think that it did. Like, they didn't. I didn't go specifically buy them. Like, I played them with you.
I guess
yes.
you never had to, because I always bought them and we just played co-op and then like
Yeah.
versus and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they were fun games. I just didn't. They didn't grab me the way I thought they would.
Fair enough. So Gears 5 is coming. We don't know anything about it except a supporting character from Gears 4 called Kate Diaz is on a personal journey to uncover the origins of the Locust, bad guys at Gears, and her family. As a Gears game, it's expected to be a tactical cover-based shooting over-the-top set pieces and dash and melodrama type of game. But there was a trailer of this last year, and people are speculating that this seems more of a way different Gears of War game. Like, it'll still have that kind of shooting, but there's going to be like more exploratory elements to it, because people are getting a serious like God of War reboot vibe from it. Like, maybe they're going to take some like creative risks and like change up the actual formula like a lot. So that would be really cool for a Gears game, because I've always thought the world and universe of Gears is ripe for exploring. That's me having not played 4, having wishes for 5. Like a douche. Of course, I would have to trumpet the horn here, because Halo Infinite, nobody knows shit all about Halo Infinite, except for the trailer last year that was drop fucking dead gorgeous. And a lot of people are like, well, that can't possibly be real. For those naysayers, I have a YouTube video by Digital Foundry who will prove you wrong. But, it's running on a brand new engine called the Slipspace engine. And if you don't think that Microsoft couldn't throw money and hire the most technically talented people to squeeze every ounce of power out of the old clunker original Xbox One, and then, of course, One S and One X, you're dead fucking wrong. Because y'all remember Halo 4? That thing did not look like a 360 game. That thing was fucking gorgeous. And also ran really well, too. So, all I'm saying, all we've heard is that it is Halo 6, essentially, and it's a spiritual soft reboot to the franchise. But also, the speculation is that it also might be like Halo Far Cry, which I would 10,000% be on board for. Like, could you imagine, like, you have a map and it's like the ring, it's like the Halo ring, and you're like running around in the Warthog, and you can like upgrade your Warthog and like fucking surviving on the Halo ring? That would be dope as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I would be more excited about Halo Infinite if it was like a Halo Far Cry.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. And like, they already have like the perfect conceit to quote be infinite, because rather than having a square map, right, you have a circular map. So like, you're always like going around, because it literally has its own built-in borders to the left and right because of the way the ring setup is.
Yeah.
Like, it has its own in-universe thing that makes total logical sense versus like, oh, out of bounds. Like, hell yes. Hell yes. That's all I'm saying. I want it. I need it. I'm actually looking forward to that reveal the most, and I really do hope that it is open world and it's not just fucking level based.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest, after how many Halo games have there been that are actually like, so
5.
there's, I know, but there was There's Reach. There's ODST. So that's 7.
Oh, yeah.
We've had 7 games with the classic Halo style, corridor-based, old-school PC style mentality of game. Let's go open world. Fuck it. Like, it would make sense within the Halo universe. And if you think about it, like, if you think back to, like, think back to the second level in the first Halo game, and it's basically kind of open world-ish. Like, they have those huge levels, right? That you would get, like, fucking lost in.
Mm-hmm.
Just make that the whole fucking game. Fuck yeah. I'm on board. I'm very excited, and I hope that's it. And if it's not it, I'm going to be fucking livid and talking about it on next week's show. All right, go for it. My voice is failing.
Okay. Next game is Judgment. Judgment is the latest from Yakuza developer Ryuga Gotoku Studios.
Jesus, say that again?
Nah, I'm good.
Ryuga Gotoku.
Pretty much. It's a spin-off of the series universe that puts you in control of a private detective, Takayaki Yagomi, who is hell-bent on solving the mystery of a serial murder case.
Okay.
While Judgment takes place in a familiar locales from the Yakuza series, its story and gameplay are a bit different. As Yagami, you can still beat up thugs in traditional over-the-top fashion, but you can also investigate crimes and gather leads in your case. Seeing as Judgment has a release date of June 25th, it's not going to have a whole lot to give away in E3. I would imagine probably just some gameplay stuff or some like user interface details, but I mean, it's out in less than a month. Or it's out in less than 3 weeks, so...
Really?
I can't... Yeah, the 25th of this month.
What console?
Doesn't say.
Okay, hang on. Googling.
I would assume all 3?
Only PlayStation 4.
Oh, okay. That one, yeah.
I think it must be because Sony pays for Yakuza to be exclusive.
That makes sense.
Because they've had like
especially since
8 Yakuzas and some remakes. Like, it's a popular game series.
Yeah, and if it's a spin-off, then that makes total sense.
Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. All right, next game. Oh, yes. Now, I want to be clear. This next game, I am personally beyond tickled with myself that there's a remake of this.
Mm-hmm.
The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening is a 3D remake complete with a different art style that 3D mimics the old Game Boy art style, being made for the Nintendo Switch. So it's a classic Zelda top-down adventure. And in my opinion, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening is... I think it actually might be my favorite handheld game of all time. All time, folks. Like, I've played that game backwards and forwards. I played it in black and white. I played it in fake color. I've played the DX Color Remaster on the Nintendo 3DS and beat it again on there. Like, it is a fucking perfect game and also a direct sequel to
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past. It is a fantastic, immaculately made game, and I'm super excited for it. It's coming out. There's no release date, but probably this year would be my guess. Probably like fall or winter or something. It's so fucking good. So I want 2 things from it. I want it, A, not to fuck up how it feels in 3D, and then 2, give me some new stuff. Give me like a new dungeon, because there's already precedence for this. So in the original version, which was black and white, the game was what it was. And then when they did the DX version on Game Boy Color, they added a fucking dungeon. and the dungeons specifically like used color to like take advantage of the screen, and like the puzzles were all like color coded and stuff. Like it was awesome. Had its own boss, its own like it's like a whole other fucking dungeon. So give us another fucking dungeon, please. Thank you. That is all. I'm excited.
I actually had this game on pre-order.
Oh, you do? Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for it because I never got to beat it.
That's surprising.
After I didn't have a handheld after my Game Boy Color, so I never. And then I had only just recently got this 2DS when Sun and Moon came out, and I never thought to pick up Link's Awakening for it. All right. Luigi's Mansion 3 Switch. I have never played these games, and I will probably continue to never play them. I don't fucking care about Luigi.
Luigi is the bestest.
He can just Luigi his fucking face.
No, Luigi is best.
I fuck him. Fuck Luigi. I don't care.
So true story. So last night we were over at me and Jessica were over at our mutual friend Daniel's house, and they had new Super Mario Brothers Wii U Deluxe, which is a fucking mouthful, on their Switch, and they were like, "Oh, we should play this." And so I chose Luigi, and it's a 2D Mario game, right? But it's up to 4 players, and so I played Luigi, and because I know Luigi is both faster and jumps higher and longer and farther than Mario, because Mario sucks. So this fucking thing happens in the game where, like, because it's 2D, right? So if you move the screen too fast, and like say the other 3 players are behind, the screen, like as soon as they go off the screen, they just die, like in Smash Brothers. And so I was like speed running through the levels, killing Jessica and Daniel and his wife Sarah, to the point where fucking Daniel quit the game and switched it to Mario Party. He's like, "We're going to another fucking game. This is bullshit." And I was like, "I'm sorry, Luigi's the best." So once again, Luigi's best. I'm personally excited for Luigi's Mansion 3. Huge fan of the first game. Even huger fan of the second game, which very oddly was made by this American team, but they turned what worked in the first Luigi's Mansion, which was wandering around and hunting ghosts, into like this Metroidvania type of game. Like Metroidvania, like with some elements of like point and click adventure. Like it was wild. It was awesome. So the fact that the third one is on the way and it's made by that same team makes me very happy. And there's nothing known about it. There's like a CGI trailer and it shows like a giant like hotel, I guess. So basically Ghostbusters. So I would hope it takes place in like all one location and you're like unlocking different floors and stuff, because the first game took place in one mansion and it was 3 floors. It was a very short game. It took 3 hours to get through, but it was great. You know, and then the second game took place in like 5 different locations and they were all different. From like a mine to like a rail cart thing to like is all different. So Luigi's Mansion 3, I hope takes place in like one giant tower, and it's Metroidvania as fuck. I'm looking forward to it. It's supposed to come out this October because they told us that last year. So there. All right, next up.
What is it? So, Dark Pictures, Man of Medan. Man of Medan?
Man Medan.
Man Medan. Okay, this is the latest from Supermassive Games. The game is a part of a large horror anthology series the studio is starting to create. It tells the story of a group of Americans on vacation through the South Pacific Ocean, but when the unexpected storm arrives, they find themselves trapped in a sunken ghost ship. Until Dawn, Man of Medan has you navigating multiple protagonists through terrifying situations while making decisions that ultimately impact the conclusion of the narrative. Previous trailers have lightly touched upon the game's story and gameplay, but we're hoping to see more this E3. So this is from Supermassive Games. They did Until Dawn and The Impatient. Very choice-driven horror kind of games. I'm actually kind of excited about it. It sounds really interesting. And hopefully it does well so that they can actually get this saga that they want to get off the ground. Because I would like to see that. I'm a huge kind of horror dark story games fan. Alan Wake, still one of my all-time favorite 360 games, for sure. And unfortunately, Mr. Tim had to step out for a second, so I will continue this conversation with myself. And on to the next game. Worldwide reveal for E3, and this is going to be a big one. It is the Marvel game that has been in production by Square Enix for quite some time. Not created, published by Square Enix. We don't know anything about it. We have no idea. We're hoping to get a ton of info from this E3, and it's not just a puff piece of like teaser. Let's see what else. So the publisher has been very tight-lipped about this, about what to expect from this title. We're not even sure what kind of game it'll be. What we do know is that Tomb Raider Studio, Crystal Dynamics, and Deus Ex Human Revolution Studio, Eidos Montreal, are working on it. So some pretty big names on this. Probably going to come out with the Square Enix E3 press release June 10th. So hopefully we get, like I said, a ton of info. We don't even know what consoles this is going to be for. And it is a real Avengers game is what everybody's been saying. Next game on the list, Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3. I played the first two. Actually, Tim and I did. Great, fun games that were awesome. So, the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series hasn't seen a new game in about a decade, but with the Avengers Endgame still fresh in the minds of pop culture zeitgeists, there's probably never going to be a better time to bring it back. Developed by Team Ninja, nice. So Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive, Nuo fame. It's exclusive for the Nintendo Switch. This is going to be a 4-player action RPG. It'll let you choose between, obviously, dozens of heroes and villains. It's going to be an interesting release for Marvel. I'm excited about it. As I said before, I played the first two. They're awesome. And then what else? It'll be interesting to see, especially with updated stuff. All right, and the Tim has returned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just got through the Avengers game, which we literally know nothing about.
Yeah, absolutely
except
nothing.
We don't know what consoles it's going to be on.
Nope. We know there's a CGI trailer and that it's going to be single player with a fuck ton of online elements. That's it.
Yep. And
jack shit.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that Square Enix has set aside a bunch of time.
Oh, I think so.
Because we don't know anything.
In a year that had Endgame, if they didn't, such a missed opportunity.
Well, yeah, exactly. So like I said, hopefully Square Enix is going to set aside like 45 minutes for this.
Yeah, and I hope it blows our minds too, personally.
Yeah, like I'm hoping for like actual like gameplay, like them like videoing while they play the game. I doubt it, but that would be super cool.
Agreed.
Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3, awesome, fun little game that you and I played back in the day, 1 and 2.
Yep.
Another really smart play on Marvel and Disney to bring out this old kind of standby.
Yeah, and then also to have it developed by Team Ninja, who's done Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive, and Neo fame.
Yep.
So, combat experts, and it's an action RPG. So it's going to feel good.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, 4-player, Switch exclusive. Coming out real soon, too.
Yeah, I think
it's like
August?
No, it's like July 7th.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's something crazy like that. I'll look it up. Ultimate Alliance 3 release date. Yeah, it's already got a release date.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's July 19th.
Nice.
I was close.
All right, so you can do the next game.
Okay. Alliance, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So I'm going to be honest. I know this is like a really artsy game, and it's like a platformer, and it's got beautiful music, and people love it. Because I see people like cosplay it and shit at like PAX and whatnot. And I also remember being at a PAX panel where it had like a bunch of famous video game composers, and whoever the composer was of this one was on the panel. And in that panel was when he leaked that he was working on the second Ori game accidentally, and the crowd went fucking nuts. And this was like, it was like 3 years ago or something crazy like that. So
then he was fired.
I mean, I think he won an award for it, so I think not. I've never played it. I hear they're good. It's a 2D Metroidvania platforming game with hand-drawn art, and it's beautiful, and it's exclusive to Xbox, because I think they like bought the studio or something. I have no idea. I've never played it. I hear it's really good. It's won awards. I don't know fuck all. But
I've never played them.
You know who does know some fuck all about stuff? You on this next game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Outer Worlds. From the creators of the Fallout series and Obsidian Entertainment, the studio behind arguably the best contemporary Fallout game, New Vegas, comes the Outer Worlds. It's an intricate first-person role-play game that adopts a lot of Fallout's beloved characteristics, both classic and modern. The spacefaring adventure takes place in a far future where mega corporations rule. It will feature mechanics like a real-time combat system with a Fallout-style slowdown mechanic, endearing AI companions, a large variety of dialogue options and approaches to the game's many problems, and a dark sense of humor. Despite Xbox Studios' acquisition of Obsidian, announced in 2018, the game would be published by Take-Two's Private Division label and will come to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and PC through the Epic Store sometime in 2019. So it's going to be a Fallout space adventure done by, like they said, Obsidian, which made probably the best Fallout in the series.
Huh.
So I'm excited about it. I love games like this.
And they've already said not to expect something ginormous. They're saying 20 to 30 hours at most. So it'll be a short,
which is
sweet game.
yeah.
Probably.
But I mean, if it's short enough and people, it probably has a lot of replayability if you do complete it quicker than say 20 or 30 hours.
Well, and you have to imagine if it's successful now that Microsoft owns it, exclusive to Microsoft Game Store and Xbox sequel, right?
Well, I don't know if they would go exclusive because I think it'd be silly to make a sequel an exclusive when this one is not going to be.
I mean, sure, but that.
I mean, my personal opinion. I think it'd be silly to do that.
Fair enough. So next on the list here, and I think you're more excited about this than I am because you've played Sun and Moon.
Oh yeah,
Pokemon Sword and Shield coming this fall. It's the brand new official main Pokemon game coming. Going to be 2 versions, 1 sword, 1 shield. I know I personally am going to get the sword version. So
I'm getting the sword version.
No,
you're getting the shield.
fuck your face.
No,
I am getting the sword version.
No, okay. How about this? We're gonna have to fucking do rock paper scissors. You already know.
Maybe
we can't have 2 swords, man. Gotta get them all. Gotta catch them all, man.
We'll see when we get an official release date announced. How about that?
All right.
So it's going to take place in an all-new UK-inspired region of the world, including a brand new generation of Pokemon to the already staggering catalog. So you're going to see a return to more familiar Pokemon mechanics, as opposed to the variation that the Let's Go games introduced, such as wild Pokemon battles and gyms. The starting Pokemon options this time around will include Scorbunny, an energetic fire-type rabbit, Sobble, a much less energetic water-type lizard, and Grookey, a grass-type monkey, who is obviously the best one, says the article. Nintendo has announced that it will hold a presentation devoted to Pokemon Sword and Shield June 5th. So we'll know more next episode.
Yeah.
I think it looks good, and I'm excited to play the game, but I'm also a little bit like, it does look a lot gameplay-wise to Sun and Moon. And I know Sun and Moon was, a very good evolution of the 20 years of games that have come before it. But, I kind of wanted it to be a little edgier, a little bit more different. And I'm hoping in whatever we see on the 5th, we see more of that. Hopefully. I suppose we'll see.
I mean, I'm excited for it either way. I mean, I started rewatching Pokemon because of my kid, and he's super into it. He loves it. So, I picked up Sun and Moon a lot, and my kid likes to sit in my lap while I play, and he'll help me pick attacks or stuff like that. And it's actually turned into a really good tool for him learning how to read, because I make him spell out the attacks and try to sound out the words before he gets to use them.
That's great. Great motivation to learn them. I mean, I learned my ABCs on a Game Genie, so he can fucking learn how to fucking pronounce things in Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
so
not?
and that's that was I was I'm gonna say, me getting Pokemon bred helped me learn how to read better too. I mean, I was old enough to know how to read, but sitting there going through just the enormity of the game text, plus your item management, it helped me a lot too.
Fair enough. Next one.
And the next one. So the next one is Sea of Solitude. I've not heard anything about this game, so I'm just going to go straight off from the article. First revealed in 2015, Sea of Solitude was announced at E3 2018 to be the newest entry into EA's original program, which is home to titles like unique titles. What? Man, that was terribly written. It's how this is written. So, which is home to titles like unique titles. That's how it's written out. So, Unravel, A Way Out, and Faye. You play as Kay, who suffers from loneliness so powerful that it consumes her in the form of darkness. You'll explore a submerged apocalypse in a boat, traversing the environment, changing water levels, and generally deciphering puzzles related to the world and the shadowy monsters that inhabit it. Kay's ultimate goal is to find out what happened to her and how to fix it. But part of that also involves finding out more about the creatures too. Sea of Solitude has a pleasing watercolor aesthetic, complemented by ominous dark world, in quotes, of sorts, that invites comparisons to Studio Ghibli and Silent Hill. That's kind of cool. It's a metaphorical game about exploring and dealing with human emotions. Due out July 5th. Okay. We should expect to hear from it on E3.
Yeah. I watched the gameplay trailer of it last year. It looks pretty cool.
Just looking at the picture, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks real neat. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's good.
It kind of reminds me of God, what's that little game? Flame in the Flood?
Oh, yeah. Except this is 3D kind of open worldish, and the other Flame in the Flood is very much top-down procedural.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that it kind of has that little bit of that feel to it.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Oh, and then your fucking butt buddy game.
Yeah. Shenmue 3!
You mean Gamu 3?
Whatever, you fucking loved Shenmue, and you know
No,
it.
I didn't.
You fucking loved playing that game and fucking going down the docks and beating fucking people up with the fucking combat system. You fucking liar.
I liked beating people up. I did not like that game. It was fucking stupid.
Oh, the game was fucking amazing. Anyways, Shenmue 3 has a release date of August 27th, 2019. It has been in development for a fucking hot minute, that is for sure. And I'm a fucking backer, and that game is on its way to me. So, I had the earliest of pre-orders. I am the best. It's been in development for a full 4 years now, actually. And actually a little bit before that, so probably like 5 years. Yeah, super fucking excited. If for no other reason than the fact that Shenmue 2 ended on a motherfucker of a cliffhanger. So I'm really excited to find out what happens to my boys. I'm probably gonna have to watch like a bunch of like video recaps of Shenmue 1 and 2 because it's been like fucking 18 years. Basically, like it has been a while. I'm excited for it. I hope it's really good. And I hope there has been some modernizations of some systems because the thing, and I will always tell this about this. Sorry, folks, you're going to hear me talk about Shenmue for a minute. Shenmue introduced us to open world, fully voiced RPGs with dialogue that affected the situation. It introduced QuickTime events. It introduced like crazy detailed immersiveness that even like it was so ahead of its time on every fucking capacity. It had fucking video games inside of video games. It had a fully complex fighting system where you would learn martial arts style and like learn how to master them and like fucking have a day job to make money. Like, Shenmue. Such fond memories. I'm sure it hasn't aged well. There's no way it has aged well. But very excited for it. All about that life. August 2017 or 2019. August 2019, the 27th. Feel like I'm vamping because he's taking a shit.
I don't know. You keep fucking talking.
Shenmue! Yeah.
Yeah.
Shenmue
exactly.
3. Finally. Years later.
Jesus.
So good. So good. Shenmue. That's how good it is. Shenmue. Mm-hmm.
Would you like me to go to the next game, or are you done sucking Shenmue's dick?
More Shenmue. With the Shenmue music. Yeah, there's the soundtrack. Shenmue, it's the best. It's on my phone.
Jesus.
There it is. Yeah, Shenmue. Breathe it in. Soak it in. Okay, go to the next one. Before we get sued for copyright.
The next game is Star Wars Jedi, The Fallen Order.
Okay.
So this is going to be probably the first really new Jedi game in a long time, in my opinion.
Yeah, a long fucking time.
Really long time. And, okay, and nobody knew about this until basically, what was it, 6 months ago?
Well, we knew about it last year, but all they did was announce the name and pointed the camera at the director and the fucking game crowd. And it was like, what the fuck?
So this is done by Respawn Entertainment, the talented EA studio behind innovative first-person shooters like Titanfall, Apex Legends. They're trying their hand at a Star Wars game considering they fucked up Battlefront 2 so royally. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will be a single-player, third-person action game that takes place after Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which means that Jedi have been eradicated from the galaxy. We've only seen one CGI trailer so far, but the hope is that upcoming EA Play event that takes place alongside E3 2019 will show us a lot more. What we do know is that Fallen Order will see you take control of a Jedi Padawan called Cal Kestis.
Dumb name.
Yeah, it's super dumb. I was really hoping that it was going to be the guy from the last show they just did. Caden.
Oh, yeah. I got you. But it's not.
Freedom Fighters, whatever. It should be about him, in my opinion, because he was an awesome character. Basically, he's running around trying to survive, being, one of the last surviving Jedis. Expect social stealth, a droid companion, force powers, and lightsaber combat. The game story team includes Aaron Kateris, who worked on Mafia 3, as well as Chris Avalon, who was famous for several Obsidian RPGs, among many other things. Fallen Order releases before the next Star Wars film installment on November 15th, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rebels, Star Wars Rebels. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. So that's what I was hoping for, is that it was going to be kind of more of a delving into the backstory of that.
But denied.
No. Yeah, totally denied. So it'll be interesting to be playing a Padawan. I'm curious as to how old this kid is, because, per Jedi lore, Padawans are pretty fucking young. And this kid looks like
Anakin age.
Yeah, he looks Anakin
Which was
age.
the exception, because he's the fucking chosen one.
I don't know.
I thought that was the deal. He was the only reason fucking Yoda allowed that shit.
No, the only reason they allowed to take him and train him was because Qui-Gon thought he was the chosen one.
Mm-hmm.
But look at Obi-Wan Kenobi wasn't a Padawan in Phantom Menace, and he was
Yes, he was, dude.
I don't think so. I
He
don't
was
think he was a Padawan.
100% a Padawan in Phantom Menace.
I don't know if I don't think that's right.
Dude, it's right.
Okay. Well, either way, he seems really old, so I'm curious as to where this takes place. Like, how many years after Revenge of the Sith?
I'm probably sure it says somewhere.
Hmm. Yeah, but I'm hoping we get to interact with other characters from that universe, like Ahsoka Tano, or even Caden would be really cool.
Yeah, Caden would probably make the most sense, given his backstory. And I've read some comics. Like, he's quite the rebel rouser.
Yeah.
In that particular era. So I don't know. We'll see, I suppose. We shall see.
Should be good.
Yeah, I hope it's good. It's got a good development team behind it. Using Unreal Engine 3 or 4, so it's, not gonna get shit on like the fucking Frostbite engine. We'll see. Next game up is Super Mario Maker 2. It's out on Switch June 28th. It surprised everybody by having some kind of fucking story mode, apparently. And will allow you to make stages in the style of the original Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World, and Super Mario Brothers for Wii U, as well as Super Mario 3D World. So you can make all those types of Mario things to your heart's content. So, odd fact. So I own Super Mario Maker 1 on the Wii U. And that's kind of strange for me because I'm not really a fan of the 2D Mario games. Like I like them, I appreciate them, I understand them, I can play them, like that they're fine. They're just not I don't love them like I love like my 2D Sonic games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was interested about it because I like games that let you make stages. I always have, always will. I was interested about that and how Nintendo would do that because they haven't done too much in that space. At the time, probably the most they'd done is the Stage Maker in Smash Brothers, and it was okay. It was, wasn't the greatest, but it was all right. I was curious about it. And so I played it for probably 5 hours and then set it down and never played it again. And played some people's custom levels and that sort of stuff. It was fine. So I guess if you're a Mario fan, Super Mario Brothers Maker 2 that has a story mode is probably exciting and makes sense. It actually makes sense that they would skip re-putting out Super Mario Maker on Switch to get some money when they could just make a better one and make a story mode and make it more value packed, because the first one was just the Maker. It was just the Maker and then a little online interface to find people's levels. That's it. There's no vertical game, no objectives for making things. That
sounds hella stupid.
I mean, it was for a very specific crowd, right? And it was a very Wii U kind of game. It used the screen as you'd have your palettes to select different things to put onto the screen. It's a very Wii U kind of thing. So,
okay.
Whatever, to each his own. Nothing against it, nothing for it. Moving on.
All right. So, Tom Clancy, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I've not played any Tom Clancy games since probably.
Really? You didn't play any on 360?
Oh, actually, no. I played Vegas.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I played Vegas. So let's see. It takes place. Okay, so Ubisoft is taking a different approach on this game. Breakpoint will have a darker tone, the developer says, and its new fictional New Zealand-esque setting called Aurora. Aurora is home to Skell Technology, a corporation specializing in AI drone tech. When communication with the community ceases, you're sent to the archipelago to investigate. When you arrive, however, you find yourself not in the role of hunter, but the hunted. Throughout Breakpoint, you will encounter a paramilitary group known as the Wolves, who Ubisoft says are just as skilled on the battlefield as the Ghosts. Because of this, gameplay places a greater emphasis on stealth, and you'll be able to employ drones and hide the bodies of any enemies you kill. Similarly, you can avoid detection by crouching into the foliage or covering yourself in mud. The game also features some survival elements. Any injuries you sustain need to be treated, and you need to maintain your weapons. It will be released on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC October 4th. I mean, it sounds kind of like a nice new take on the Tom Clancy games. I'd be interested in picking it up.
We should go to the bargain bin and get the previous Wildlands, because it's basically a sequel to Wildlands. And we should play that because I think we would both enjoy it. It'd be a good co-op game.
Yeah.
Like I played the beta and it was great and I actually really enjoyed it. But like I played it with a bunch of my online friends like Kono and Killbot, and they actually didn't like it. And I was like, you're all crazy. But they didn't pick it up, so I didn't really have anybody to play it with, so I never picked it up.
Okay.
So I had fun. It was good. It was like open world Splinter Cell Ghost Recon in a jungle. It's great. So new game, Twin Mirror. Twin Mirror is a new story-driven adventure game from Dontnod Entertainment, the studio behind Life is Strange and Vampire. With a developer body of work like that, it's no wonder the game will revolve around player choices as part of a branching narrative. It seemingly contains quite a dark tone and appears to be a psychological thriller. You play as Sam, who returns to his desolate hometown of Basswood, West Virginia, to attend the funeral of his best friend. Sam is already having a pretty tough time. He's recovering from a bad breakup. Things take a turn for the worse when he wakes up with no memory of the previous night and discovers a blood-stained shirt in his hotel room. Sam needs to recall his memories and search for clues to discover the truth in a mysterious investigation. Similar to Life is Strange, Twin Mirrors confront many heavy themes. Sam must come to terms with heartbreak in a place where, quote, the line between truth and deception is blurred. Sweet. I'm all for that. I love Life is Strange. I have yet to play Life is Strange 2. It's on my list.
I have not played either.
You would love fucking Life is Strange. I'm telling you. Like, it's dope. Like, so I think one of the things like we're gonna do. So also slight life update for y'all, Fork fam. Myself and Brock and Jessica are hopefully gonna be moving soon, and so unfortunately, you'll probably hear the audio quality of the show dip a bit. Not because my equipment sucks, but because I'll no longer be recording in a soundproof room, which definitely will be a blow, but I'll make it work somehow. But with all of us living together, play like these story games. You know, we can like have dinner and then like watch these story games and like make choices as a group, and it'll be a blast. I think.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
So, you know, it'd be great. Great game for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we got two more. Let's plow through and shove off this boat.
Okay, so the next one, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I played the first one. It was very in-depth.
You did play the first one, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's you have to manage everything from like drinking water, going to the bathroom, like tons of stuff. Really, really interesting game. So
like,
I'm
good though.
I didn't play it enough.
Oh, I see.
To really get into it, I think. So Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has been a long time in the making. The first game, an RPG based on the tabletop game Vampire the Masquerade, was launched in 2004. The game was mostly played from a first-person perspective, though you'll switch to third-person when performing specific actions. When you begin this sequel, you can choose from several different classes and backstories for your vampire. Within those classes, there are various disciplines to choose from, which will determine your combat allies, combat abilities, and other attributes. Developer Paradox says these classes were adapted from Vampire the Masquerade tabletop. The Cryptorin discipline, for example, calls on the vampire's strong affinity to bats and allows players to summon a swarm of them and move through the air. That's cool. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 launches for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC in 2020. So wow, that's at least
out there.
6 months. Yeah, it's at least 6 months. So hopefully we'll hear more about it, both from E3. Hopefully get a more solid date than 2020.
Yeah.
Kind of suck if it was a full year away, because I'd be interested in playing that. Alrighty.
All right, final game on our E3 2019 watch list is Wolfenstein Youngblood. Wolfenstein Youngblood was unveiled at E3 2018, promising a co-op trip through Paris set in the alternate 1980s. It's a sequel of sorts to the most recent game in the series, Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus, and it stars series protagonist BJ Blazkowicz's twin daughters, Jessica and Sophia, who are working together to continue the fight against the Nazi regime. In Wolfenstein Youngblood, BJ has gone missing in the Nazi-occupied Paris. It's not clear whether Youngblood is the third game in the series. The devs previously stated that they made the series as a trilogy or a separate game in the vein of Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. At E3 2019, Wolfenstein publisher Bethesda is holding a press conference in typical fashion, and all that's confirmed in the show roster so far is Doom Eternal. However, it's more than likely that Wolfenstein Youngblood will be there as well, especially as it has a July 26th release date nearing. Okay. So I oddly own the first three, the game and its 2 DLC packs for the new Wolfenstein reboot, but I've never played them. I hear they're amazing, though. Yeah.
I've heard the same thing.
Yeah. So very interesting, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's good, probably.
Hopefully. I mean, an 80s Wolfenstein actually sounds kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds cool. I'm down, even though I haven't played the other ones. Sure. Why not? All these games that I own that I haven't fucking played. I'm a terrible fucking glutton.
Yes, you are. So wasteful.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get to some of that stuff in our new home. Yeah, that's all for this week. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, Tim K.A. Trotter. Find all of our stuff at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Buy my book, The Citadel Arrival, by Tim K.A. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Buy a book, support this show. Free samples are available if you're a pansy and don't want to throw $3 to me. You pansy. Yeah. Until next week, my co-host here is going to sign off. And hopefully you enjoy our coverage and or freaking out of anything that we don't know about coming at E3 in the next week or two.
Talk to you guys next time.
Sweet.
Bye.
That's it. Talk to you next time. Bye. That's terrible. All right.
They love it.
Probably. We hope. Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
This is Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, Arrival by author Tim K. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Sure.
Jay, shut your door, please. All right, you there, man?
Yeah.
All right.
How's your weekend going?
Oh, not too bad. Hung out with Bianca for her birthday last night at her place.
Nice.
Yep.
We wondered if we got back past 1 last night because we were at Daniel's, and Jessica was all like, "Oh, where's Brock at?" I was like, "I don't know, probably his sisters or Gabe's or something."
Yeah.
So, yeah. How was your Saturday other than that? Or were you there like all day?
What was it? So, I was there from 2:30 to on. So yeah, I just hung out in the morning and played some Skyrim. Haven't had a chance to really jump into Metal Gear Solid yet.
Oh, that's right. I did buy that for you. I totally forgot about that. It's fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I played some Smash Brothers yesterday, and then spent a bunch of time helping Jessica trying to help Jessica with food, because she was making dinner for them last night. Because they're always making dinner for us and all that jazz.
Oh, I gotcha.
So we're trying to return the favor.
Nice.
Yep. So I figured, since we're so close to E3, we would just cover like all the news that has come out, like all the pre-E3 news, and then like the rumors and the things that like we want to happen on E3, since probably the next 2 episodes, because let's see, there's the Apple conference is tomorrow, so there's a bunch of shit gonna happen we'll have to talk about next week, and then like 7 days after that is E3 for like all of the week of the 10th, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be hot. So I figured we'd just kind of dive into that sort of stuff. I was trying to find like an article or something so that we could like bounce back and forth between each item, I guess.
Yeah.
So you could like kind of follow along or whatever.
Yeah.
Top pre. E3 2019. Let's see here. There is. Let's see.
What kind of article are you looking for?
Trying to find something that's just like bullet pointy,
Oh, I got
you know, and then we can infer our own thoughts on it as we go down the list.
I got
Just trying to find something that's got like a bunch of them in there.
Started Outlander this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm only like 3 episodes in.
Well, don't tell Jessica because she's only the biggest fucking Outlander fan.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, there's 2 seasons on Netflix, and I was like, you know, I kind of feel I'm in the period piece mood with playing Skyrim.
I mean, it's not bad, and it's got that little itty bitty sci-fi hook to it.
Yeah, sci-fi or fantasy or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say time travel's sci-fi.
Not unless it's fairy powered.
I don't know. It's like Gaelic stone witchcraft or some shit.
Yeah. I watched the first episode and I was like, man, this is a total ripoff of a book that I read when I was younger.
I mean, it's a pretty old
not
book
bad.
series, so it could be the other way around.
You know, it might be.
The chick's still alive, writing the books too. Of
Well, when was the
Outlander.
first book published?
Okay. The first Outlander book was 91.
I think the book I read was older, but it was more of like a short story than anything. Like it was like, I think it was like 300 or 400 pages long.
Mm-hmm. God, there's like no fucking good list. It's really starting to piss me off.
Just like an overview of what's being released at E3 or like.
Actually, this one isn't too bad. There's one from GameStop. Let's see, when was this article published? May 31st. Okay, that sounds great. All right, we're gonna use this one.
Okay.
And then we'll pipe in other things in there as well. Shooting it to you in text so you can open it on your phone or whatever.
Okay. All right. Biggest games of E3.
Indeed, I figured we'd just go down it.
Okay.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's kick it off.
Okay.
Am I sounding okay?
Yeah, you sound good. You're coming in
sweet.
clear.
Sweet. Let me start the backup recorder. This guy. This thing. Okay. All right, everything is rolling on my end. Okay. Cut in.